Hey guys, in today's video, I know I haven't been on, I haven't been doing anything on YouTube for a few weeks now, but I'm back, and this video I think is really important to do, especially now, just so we can get this out of the way prior to really jumping into everything related to winter weather. So in today's video, I'll be comparing how the 2020 Atlantic hurricane season has gone with actual statistics and the facts about everything related to how many named storms and everything we've had, to how my official 2020 Atlantic hurricane season forecast is looking compared to that. So again, yeah, here's my comparison between my 2020 Atlantic hurricane season forecast to what has actually happened during the 2020 Atlantic hurricane season. Here is the map of where all of the tropical cyclones this year in the 2020 Atlantic Ocean during the 2020 Atlantic hurricane season have tracked. You can see we've had tropical cyclones track pretty much everywhere in the Atlantic. Particularly hardest hit was the Gulf Coast, particularly Louisiana. Of course, Louisiana got the most landfalls out of all of the states in the United States. This year's hurricane season had, I believe, 5 landfalls, three of which I believe were hurricanes and 2 were major hurricanes, I believe. And then just really in general, Gulf Coast, Texas was hit twice. Mississippi, Alabama, the Florida Panhandle, they were hit 2 or 3 times. So it was really, really rough for them. Nicaragua, Honduras were hit twice, pretty much in the exact same area, by 2 really powerful, devastating major hurricanes, one of which was a Category 5. And then the East Coast, we had a good few in the earlier part of the season impact the East Coast. Particularly, the most notable was Isaias, which impacted every state along the eastern seaboard from Florida to Maine, which prompted the entire eastern seaboard to go under tropical storm watches, warnings, hurricanes, watches, and warnings. It was truly an unbelievable season for the East Coast as well. Even portions of the Caribbean, even the northern parts of the Caribbean, Cuba, Puerto Rico, those areas, even got hit a bit by some notable systems, Isaias and Laura for one, when they were just forming into tropical storms before they really intensified and became pretty notable hurricanes. And then, of course, we had Teddy that didn't do much of anything, though in fact, did a weird track around Bermuda. And then there was Paulette that went right over Bermuda, which was the first tropical cyclone to go right over Bermuda in about 6 years, since 2014. So that was very interesting. And then we had, of course, we went into the Greek alphabet, and we had oh my gosh, what was we had Alpha that hit Portugal. That was very, very interesting. That was like the first known tropical cyclone to hit Portugal on record, I believe. And then the most of the crazy amount of tropical activity for the Greek alphabet formed in the Gulf of Mexico, a few of which went up into the Gulf Coast and hit the Gulf Coast, particularly Zeta and Delta. And then we had, of course, Eta, Iota hit Nicaragua, Honduras, were horrible to those areas. It was just devastating to those areas. And then we had Tropical Storm Theta out in the open Atlantic that didn't really do much to anywhere, so that was good in a way. But yeah, overall, this year's hurricane season was a pretty devastating hurricane season. You can see here's the official statistics. You can see total amount of depressions we had was 31, record high, tied with 2005. Total named storms was 30, record high, beat 2005 by 2 named storms. 2005 had a record high of 28 named storms. We beat that by 2 named storms. We've had 13 total hurricanes over the 2020 Atlantic hurricane season. We were 2 short of tying 2005 for the record highest amount of hurricanes in any single hurricane season, since 2005 had 15 total hurricanes. And we had 6 major hurricanes during this year's hurricane season, which ties 2017 for the second highest amount of major hurricanes ever in a single season. We were 1 major hurricane short of tying 2005 for the record highest amount of major hurricanes at 7 on record for any single hurricane season. Now, here is the timeline of all of the Atlantic's tropical activity throughout the season. You can see we were really just opened fire with just the amount of named storms, one after the other, just continuously. Ever since, in fact, ever since mid-May, that was when Tropical Storm Arthur formed. That was the first named storm all the way back in mid-May this year. That was crazy. And then we had Bertha, Cristobal, Dolly, Edward, Faye. Faye and Isaias were the two named storms that, in fact, were the first tropical cyclones to hit the northeast New England since, I believe, Sandy. So that's pretty remarkable that it's been 8 whole years since the last time the northeast New England, particularly New England, was hit by a tropical system. And then we had Hannah, Laura. Laura was very devastating to Louisiana. And then we had Paulette, Sally. Sally was actually quite notable towards the southeastern Louisiana area around New Orleans. But in fact, it wasn't until I believe it was Zeta that Zeta went right over New Orleans and caused the most destruction towards New Orleans of any tropical cyclone this year's hurricane season. And then we got our Category 5 hurricane right at the last named storm of the season with Hurricane Iota that also hit the same exact region of Nicaragua pretty much as Eta did just a week or two earlier, which was truly devastating, truly devastating moment for those regions. In fact, Hurricane Iota's total damage hasn't fully been clocked in yet. So far, total damage from Iota is only at around nearly $600 million in damage, even though it's quite likely that it's caused at least a few $billion in damage. Now, here is my official Atlantic hurricane season forecast. I called for, in the end, 30 named storms, 11 hurricanes, and 7 major hurricanes. 30 named storms, I got the Atlantic formed one more named storm than my official forecast. I called for 30 named storms. It formed 31 named storms, so that was a pretty big win for me there. That was pretty remarkable. That was really interesting there. And then we had I called for a total of 11 hurricanes. It formed 13 hurricanes, beat me by 2 hurricanes. I called for 7 major hurricanes. It formed only 6 major hurricanes. Came one short, one below my official forecast for total major hurricanes. But honestly, throughout a lot of the season, even through September, in fact, when we had those record amount of 10 named storms to form in September, which made September 2020 the most active month for tropical cyclones on record in the Atlantic. Even through that month, I was very skeptical that my official forecast for hurricanes and major hurricanes would come to fruition. So that was very interesting. But that's it for today's video, guys. Really hope you found this an interesting video. Really hope you found it informative, kind of interesting point of view for how this year's Atlantic hurricane season has gone compared to a forecast. So that's it for today's video, guys. Really hope you found this video enjoyable, informative, fascinating. And if you did, please consider liking the video, commenting on the video. If you're a first-time viewer and you liked what you saw in today's video, if you found this video at all very interesting, or if you found it somewhat more interesting than you typically would have seen in any kind of these tropical-related videos, please consider subscribing. And I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye.